Alright guys, welcome back to Assassin's Creed Revelations. Man, it's been a while, scheduling things and all that kind of stuff, and I've been busy with life and all that stuff, but we're back with Assassin's Creed Revelations. The last time we met in Revelations, we arrived to Constantinople, or Istanbul, whatever you want to call it, and Ezio was basically trained by some of the assassins to, help survive out here for a little bit, because despite everything, we didn't make it out of Masyaf with the hidden blade and all that kind of stuff, and so Yusuf took it upon himself to help us out and help us find direction in terms of where we're going. So we're continuing our search for the Masyaf keys that were actually hidden by Niccolo Polo years ago, because by the direction of Altair. We'll find all this out later. But so how Assassin's Creed Revelations kind of handles the Masyaf keys is a little interesting. The main thing is that you'll be able to do the memories that are required for the Masyaf keys as early as the first memory of the sequence.
We have won the day and recovered that den.
But at the end of the day, you do have to do that you do have to do those memories anyway in order to actually get the Masyaf keys, because the Masyaf keys are the most important thing in this game right now. And when you go for the Masyaf keys, it's kind of like doing Assassin's Tombs or Romulus layers back in Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood, respectively. They're a little easier this time around because, that's not the main focus of this game. And plus, also, this is Assassin's Creed Ezio. This is the third Assassin's Creed game with Ezio in it, so it's going to play exactly the same. Okay, well, actually, I guess not for this one, not for this sequence, but I do know at the end of the sequence we do get a Masyaf key. So that is mildly interesting that I ignored all that, but it's whatever. So let's talk about how notoriety works real quick, because I had a hard time understanding it for the sake of this Let's Play, but I think I got a grasp on it because of just how much things have happened. So notoriety this time around is more called Templar awareness, and the Templars will gain more awareness of you as you do certain actions, whether it's illegal actions like killing somebody or hitting a guard when you're free running or something like that, or just being an overall dick face and all that kind of stuff. So you have to be careful of that. Now, when the Templars are fully aware, basically that entire meter is filled all the way up, you will be notorious, and it's kind of acting like being notorious in previous Assassin's Creed in the previous games so far, where if you are fully notorious, enemies will almost always automatically detect you and try to kill you. And oh god. But in Revelations, it adds the risk of the Templars will attack one of your dens if they're aware of you, and you have to go defend it if that happens. I don't know what causes them to actually attack the den after being fully aware. I guess it's just doing more illegal actions, and the chances are just increased as that happens. But basically, you really don't want to bring your Templar awareness up. So try not to do that when you can. Always prioritize getting your Templar awareness down. You can do that by bribing heralds or killing Templar witnesses. There are no posters to rip down this time around. That was a thing back in Assassin's Creed 2 that they unfortunately stopped doing. Well, they stopped doing it for this game for some reason, where you can't there's no posters to just rip down, and you won't have to worry about it. Now, taking Templar dens is kind of like taking the Borgia Towers back in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, where you have to kill the captain and then light the pyre. Unfortunately, the Templar dens, a lot of them have cowards as their captains this time around. And I didn't really mention, I don't think I mentioned this back in back in Brotherhood, but basically, cowards are the worst to deal with, because if they spot you, they will run away, and if they get to a certain point, for God's sakes, disarm him! Because if they get to a certain point in the area, which is like basically in the den, if they get to a certain point, they will run away. Yeah, there he is. There's a little prompt right there. He's running away from me. The killing animation took a little too long, and I think he's gonna get away. Yeah, he's gonna get away. And he's gone. He escaped, and I have to wait until tomorrow to confront him again, meaning that I have to wait for a day cycle to go through. I don't know how long Assassin's Creed Revelations' day cycle goes, but I know it is a while, and it is a major pain in the ass that I have to wait for that. Fortunately, there's not that many Templar dens in Revelations. There's only 5 that you have to take after the story. Because you take 2 of them, you take a couple of them through the story, unlike Assassin's Creed, unlike Brotherhood, where you only took the one in the story, and then the rest were up to you. You were on your own for the rest. But I think this is actually where we're learning about recruiting assassins. By the way, I like the fact that a lot of the non-playable characters have very similar faces. Like, you saw that guy who looked exactly like that guy, who also looks exactly like the guy he talked to, that Ezio talked to at the beginning of the game in Masyaf, when he was, it was the miner or something like that, and he was picking out the door. So, that was just an interesting little tidbit. Like, that's how I can kind of tell that this game got a little lazy with the, with modeling and stuff like that. And that's kind of just the thing about this whole game in general, is that this game just kind of feels really by the numbers, and really just overall not as good as Brotherhood or 2. What the hell? And we should recruit that guy. Yep, he's dead. But, like, Revelations just feels like that one game where they were just really trying to go for a trilogy, and I honestly feel that it's kind of pointless. What the hell did I do? By the way, I'm back in post-commentary mode. I'm doing that for this game specifically because of just how of a grind-a-thon Assassin's Creed can be. So that way I can edit out any time I'm just exploring and not doing anything related to the story. So yeah, let me actually discuss how I'm going to be approaching this game in terms of what I'm doing for like what I'm showing you. I will be showing off story, obviously. Story stuff like that will be shown off. But, like, anything related to... Oh, I just pickpocketed him. Okay. But, like, anything related to the Templar dens, I'm not really going to show off unless it's, like, you know, in the... Like, that, for example, I was just showing off that because I wanted to talk about it. Because I knew I do remember that. But, like, I won't be showing off the Templar stuff. I won't be showing off assassin recruiting. Even though there are, like, memories for that, I will not be showing that off. I will not be showing off the Desmond memories. That will be its own separate thing, maybe. I might come back to this game at a later time and do, like, a huge marathon of those. I won't be doing the Lost Archive DLC because I have no idea what the hell it is. and I really don't want to go into that blind, if that makes sense. And but like, I won't be showing off all the side content this time around. I am just mainly going through the story. So you will notice that there will be times where I just have things that I did not have originally. Like, there will probably be whole parts. Like, there will probably be there will probably be, like, major differences between me at the end of a part and then at the beginning of a part. I have completely different equipment. That is because I did that. I did it all off screen because I really... I don't mean to sound lazy. I really just... I really don't want to extend this Let's Play longer than it already will be if I did everything I did. Like, I was originally going to approach this game like I did with Brotherhood and just kind of go for things on my way, and I'm stuck. But when I did... playing through the game myself, you know, recording footage for the commentary and all that, I did not realize how much of it was just dead boring. Of me just running around, looking for viewpoints, doing the assassin missions, the Mediterranean defense, all that kind of stuff. I did not realize how much of that was really there. And quite frankly, that's boring. That would extend the Let's Play to part numbers that I don't even want to consider. It would probably not be as long as, say, Persona 5, but it would be pretty long for something that could really just not be done. Because I remember I have done a playthrough of Revelations, my first playthrough, where I went for nothing. I think I only went for, like, maybe the viewpoints and maybe a few of the Templar dens. And that was a relatively short run through. So you can ignore everything. I've done it, but this game gets a lot easier when you actually go out of your way for things. And I think that's just a general rule with any open world game like this. But this game especially, a lot of it is just busy work. And a lot of it also is just waiting for the right time for things. Whether it's waiting 20 minutes for your income to increase. Waiting for the day cycle to end to try to reapproach a captain, or why am I using my fists? What the hell am I doing? Oh, okay. I think I was trying to do a civil event, but yeah, I failed massively. What was I saying about this game in terms of just, like, what it does? Like, a lot of the busy work is just, like, you're waiting for nighttime so you can try to approach a Templar den after a coward ran away. Or you're waiting 20 minutes for your currency to refill. Or you're waiting for your assassins to finish a mission in the Mediterranean defense so you have them ready to call on in the middle of a mission. You're waiting, and, you know, again... It's kind of, like, I'm fine with waiting for stuff. I played Majora's Mask, and that game requires that you wait for things a lot, too. But, especially in this game, they're like, you know what, never mind. That was funny. Those guards just came up. They were ready to throw down, and then they saw me kick that guy in the nuts, and they were like, you know what, forget it, I'm out. Maybe next time. Anyway, but like Assassin's Creed Revelations specifically, Revelations is the worst with it to me, because I really thought to myself a lot during my playthrough, because I already beat the game at this point. By the way, I've already beaten everything out of the story. I've already beaten the story. I've already watched the credits, and I remember the word that came out of my mouth when I finally got to the credits, and it was just finally. Like, I just sighed and said, thank God it's over. And I really feel like I should not be saying that for an Assassin's Creed game. Like, I never said that for Assassin's Creed 2. I never said that for Brotherhood. I definitely did not say that for 3, especially because I love 3. But Revelations, I think, was the only one, and that's probably because of the fact that it's just another Ezio game, and maybe that's what's being its crutch, is that it's the third Ezio game, and you know, when you do 3 games dedicated to the same person, you tend to dry out. And this game really is not about Ezio. I can tell you that now. Ezio, I feel like, is just kind of there. This game is more about Altair, but I won't get into why it's about Altair until we do our first memory with him. Because spoiler alert, Altair is in this game. I mean, yeah, we've already encountered that. Okay, here's another thing about Templar awareness that utter bullshit, and I don't like it. Your Templar awareness goes up if you purchase a shop, like you renovate a shop. How dare I participate in the economy of Constantinople? How dare you? How dare I invest? But, Revelations does bring back the income mechanic of Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood. Similar to Brotherhood, especially, it's the exact same thing as Brotherhood, where you can renovate shops, banks, all that kind of stuff, and the more you renovate, the more money you get, while also you get a discount in those respective shops. So, for example, if I went to an art shop right now, I think I'd probably have a 5% discount. It's not much, but it's better than paying full price, right? But the Revelations, for some reason, the Templars become aware of you if you renovate something, whether it's buying a landmark or renovating a shop. And I really don't understand why, because that's really just kind of annoying, because then you can probably renovate 2 or 3 things, and then suddenly you have to stop that, find a way to diminish your Templar awareness, and then, what was I saying? And then, go back to it. So you're basically stopping and going, and that's the thing. I think the other thing that Assassin's Creed Revelations has its problems with is that I have to stop what I'm doing sometimes to do something else to fix a problem that is being caused by something else that is slightly stopping me. Like, there's nothing stopping me from renovating stuff. There's nothing stopping you. But besides the risk of them taking over your den. And if they take over your den, you have to defend it. And I don't want to go through all that. I don't want to. I want to find the I want to just renovate my stuff and not worry about that. This was not an issue back in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, so why did they change that? Why did they decide it was okay to say, hey, this idea was not in Brotherhood, so let's put it in this game, where even though it behaves the exact same way, and I don't understand that. It is a needless thing. There is no reason for it. Like, not even in the story. I don't see the point in it. It's just padding time. Just have it to where nothing happens when you renovate. Where the only thing that happens is you lose your money. That is perfectly fine. Like, I feel like I'm spending 100 whatever that is every 5 minutes trying to bribe Harold to shut the hell up about me. And that's not fun. That I think that's what it is. I think that's the main thing, is that every few minutes I'm stopping my forward motion to go fix something that's completely unrelated to my current issue. And it feels so disconnected. Like, I feel like I should be putting my Templar awareness, Templar awareness should only really be rising if I'm killing people, or if I'm doing illegal activity, like being on rooftops and stuff like that. Well, rooftop not really, but killing guards, or, pushing people, stuff like that. Doing generally generally illegal stuff like that. I think that's what should be increasing my Templar awareness, not participating in the optional income stuff, because that just makes it not interesting. That just makes me not like it. I don't, because then now what is going to happen is I'm going to feel like, oh, well, now I don't want to do this. I don't want to renovate. And what will happen is that if you don't renovate, you'll likely just end up using the blacksmiths and shops that are near one particular area. Like, the one area that I can think of immediately is the one by the assassin's tomb, not tomb, den that's at the beginning of the game that we were at earlier. Like, that's the only place I could think of. But again, I don't want to have to travel all the way around Constantinople just to shop. I would rather have the option to open up a shop that's immediately next to me and shop there. Because that's why I liked what Brotherhood did. Brotherhood, at least, you know, if I said, oh, I am nowhere near a shop. Luckily, there's a shop right here that I can afford to renovate. Well, I'll renovate it, not worry about raising up my notoriety. Well, now in Revelations, I have to think to myself, do I have enough money to renovate, and do I have enough slack to not be notorious when I do that? And that's just something that I really shouldn't be thinking about with this sort of thing. Like, I feel that I really shouldn't be thinking about that when I'm playing this. But that is just a me thing, I guess. I guess I talked a little too long and I actually glossed. Oh, I talked about something that was not even related to what's happening on screen for so long. That is a first for me. Let's talk about what we have to do real quick. So, with Assassin's recruiting, that's a thing that was expanded upon in this game, like Brotherhood. Brotherhood brought back that mechanic because, you know, I mean, Revelations brought that back because Brotherhood did a really good job with it. It was really cool. And, you know, Revelations brings that back as well. But the thing is that this time, you can also recruit, you can also assign... so when your assassins reach, like, level 10 back in 2 and Brotherhood, or, no, in Brotherhood, you just turn them into full-fledged assassins. Like, they were now, you know, they were now more than just an apprentice. They were a full-fledged assassin. They got their mark on their finger, they did the leap of faith, all that. In Brotherhood, you first start off by making them a den leader, and then when they reach full level, and then you have to do a memory to actually, like, show that they have a little story, which I kind of like. That the new recruits do have a bit of a story if you decide to do it. It makes you want to connect with your recruits a little more, which is cool. I like that idea. I'm sorry. But what was I saying? But then, like, once they get to another, like, I think once they get to level 15 or max level, they have another memory where they kill their target, yada yada yada. That's the end of it. But when you have someone recruited as your den leader,
Follow that man.
as a den leader, basically that den is under more protection, if I remember correctly. But yeah. That's actually just like this is just the tutorial for assassin recruits, essentially. That's what this whole sequence is dedicated to, is that we're just learning the tutorial for recruiting assassins and turning them into den leaders and stuff like that. Ow. But, yeah. It feels weird being back in post-commentary, but, yeah. It's actually, I'm trying to decide whether or not I like post-commentary or doing it live. I think it just really depends on the game to me. Like, doing something like Hyrule Warriors or this game in post-commentary is pretty interesting. Because it gives me a little, like, I don't have to worry about, you know, focusing and trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing. But like doing something like doing something like story-driven live, I think is better because I can actually react to things happening.
deadly as this man.
But yeah.
Let us focus on further honing your skills first.
Yeah, so this is actually where we learned about the Mediterranean defense. I've mentioned it like a few times. But, oh yeah, it canceled me out of getting the treasure chest because of the whole thing. But we're actually going to learn more about that next part. So the next time we meet in Assassin's Creed Revelations, we're going to learn more about the Mediterranean defense mechanic with our apprentices, and then we're going to do some other stuff. Also, I think some other story-related stuff. So see you guys next time, and take care.